I didn't. I put the cameras on top of each other here today, so if I'm looking up at you guys down there on Facebook, that's because you're not where I'd like for you to be. And I got my phone number engraved on my head. I don't know if it has something to do with the Bible or not, but anyway, good morning, and you guys up there, as always, I'm glad you're here, and I'm sort of glad you're here because you wouldn't see me if you weren't. But if you want to, go to my YouTube channel, which is Shenandoah, and this is backwards on this camera down here too, so you're going to have to put me on a mirror somewhere, which is Shenandoah SewandVac, Shenandoah one word, SewandVac one word, on YouTube, and you'll find me on there, hopefully, alive. At least that's what I am right now, I think. Okay? So good morning, everybody. This is a week that has been just kind of crazy for me because I've gotten so much to do and I'm not getting it done. And finding out that I'm getting old and forgetful. I have a customer that has a serger in here that has been driving me kind of loco because the lower looper is bent. And I went to look it up this past week, and I can't get the lower looper anymore. The parts are not available. So I was thinking, hey, I guess I can't fix this thing. So the other day I was crawling around in the back of the store here. And by the way, if you ever come in and you hear me yelling help, tell them to bring the dogs again. I'm lost back there. Anyway, I found a serger one model off from the one that's being worked on out here. And I have a looper on there, and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. So now I've got to quickly take that out and put it in the other machine. I've been dealing with other sewing machines. I had one the customer brought in, said all it needs is a cleaning. I thought, okay, that's great. And I cleaned it and then went to test it, and no, the timing is off. Mine is always off, but its timing is really off, so I'm going to have to take it apart again and reset the timing on it. So anyway, that's my tales of woe. Next week, I will not be here at the store. I don't know if I'm going to try to do this from Kentucky or not. My son and I are taking a week off, and we're going to go to Mammoth Cave, Kentucky. And never been there, always wanted to go. And so we're going to take a week off and go over that way. And you never know, I might pop on here from our motel or from Mammoth Cave or something. Who knows? Who knows? But I'll probably do a video or two from the area. Oh, I don't know what that was. That's my towel. I carry my towel with me. When I'm doing cooking and things, I use it to dry my hands. When I'm here at the store, I clean up my grease and stuff off my hands. So hopefully I don't get it on my clothes, which I do anyway. All right. Well, let's begin with talking about vacuum cleaners once again. And today I'm going to talk about something I've always kind of joked with customers about, and that is this. This, and you guys down there are seeing it says TUSBA, but it's dust is what that is. It's not the other way around. Dust brush. This is a great Christmas gift because all you have to do is put a bow on top, and there you go. It's ready. And so it is a natural bristle. It's actually horsehair. Horsehair. Ooh. You could probably use this for shaving if you all use the old soap things. You could get that going and put that on. Anyway, it's nice and soft. It will go dust your lampshades, your knicky-knacks, and all your little salt and pepper shakers. Things like that. You can go over them with this and hopefully not knock them on the floor and break up things. It's also rubbery on this end, so that you can stick it on a hose that might be a little different size. Some of these vacuum cleaners, the foreigners, Europeans and Chinese, will use different size ends. And so what I tell people sometimes, if they have one of these kind of pieces that has kind of a rubbery end, stick this part in hot water and then put it on your hose and kind of squeeze it on there, and then let it cool off, and it'll stay at about that size. So you can use it on a different size tool. A little helpful hint. I do sell adapters. I make more money on the adapters. But anyway, I don't know why the color on the Facebook page looks kind of, I don't know. I look like I'm not feeling well. But up here, I'm nice and pink. Kind of matches my shirt. Down here, everything's kind of washed out. But And the lettering is backwards back there on this one down here. Alrighty, so that's my duster brush. I also have other tools like crevice tools, upholstery tools, things like this at the store, in case Fido decides to chew it up, okay? Also, I know some people have named their dog Sparky because he likes to chew on the cords, especially puppies. I like puppies because I make money on them. It's not nice, but yeah, they seem to like to chew on cords and things. All right, under sewing machines. This is going to be kind of a repeat because I've had several people this last week and even this week call me up and tell me they're having problems with their sewing machine. And the problem they're having, and I don't have a piece of cloth with it on there, but the problem they're having is they're sewing along, and what happens is they look underneath their material and there's big loops of thread, big gobs of thread underneath. And they say, what can I do about this? And I'll tell them what you need to do is raise the presser foot and rethread your machine again. And when you get done winding the thread through everything, and I'll talk about that in a second here, give it a tug at the needle, down here at your needle. You can grab it on this side, doesn't matter, this side or the side coming out of it. Grab the thread there, and then grab the thread at the spool of thread at the top, and give it a tug. Make sure it's nice and tight. Now, the reason that is so that the thread is inside those tension discs. Remember, I talked about them before. You got these little metal discs, and sometimes you see them and sometimes you don't. Sometimes you feel like a nut, sometimes you don't. But sometimes you can see these discs on your machine. You want the thread to go between two of these metal discs so that it holds the thread nice and tight. Because you need tension when you sew. And as I've mentioned before, we all need tension in our lives. That's why we have the DMV. I used to say children, but they're not around anymore, so they've moved away. So anyways, so you need tension on your machine to help hold the thread back so it doesn't get stuck down inside that bobbin area, the bottom part of your machine, and it makes a mess if it gets down there. Another thing that can happen, though, and this is something that's been more recent, is people are missing out on the take-up finger. The take-up finger is that piece that goes up and down on your machine, okay? There is a little slot or a little hole on the end that your thread goes through, or it's supposed to go through. Sometimes the thread doesn't get in that little hole, so this thing goes up and down, and there's nothing there. Its job is to pull the thread back out of the machine as you're sewing along. Now, it does it so fast most of the time you don't see it, but it's supposed to pull that thread out of the bottom of the machine. If it doesn't do that, the thread comes off the spool, zip-de-doo-dah, down inside, and stays down in there, and there's a party going on. You weren't invited. There are lampshades thrown all over the place. It is a mess down there. So then you got to sometimes take the needle plate off, you know. You got to get in there and pull the thread out of the needle plate, or take the needle plate off and cut the thread behind it, try to get it off. It's a big mess. So you want to make sure that you've got your thread in the take-up finger so it goes in there and does its job. Alrighty? If it doesn't do it, it won't work. And then that is, I usually call a 3-stitch problem, but one lady said it was about 5 to 10 stitches before it broke the thread. But usually after 3 stitches, that thread is so bogged up in the bottom and that hook is coming around grabbing the thread, it can't do it anymore. And so it breaks the thread or the machine stops. One or the other. Alrighty? And you don't want to have big gobs of thread underneath because it's not very pretty. Oh, wait a minute. I got a message. Let's see what it says here. It says, Mike Cooley says, oh, that was for this morning. I helped him out with some things at the men's prayer breakfast, so that's a different story altogether. Okay, back to what we were talking about here. Take-up fingers and tensions. Those are the two big problems, probably the biggest problems of sewing machines that I get calls about. And I could solve the problem usually on the phone unless they don't understand what I'm saying. And that could happen too, because I can make things as clear as mud. Sometimes mud is even clearer than the way I can explain things on the phone. Show me is probably the best thing. Most people, I think, are from Missouri. My wife is not from there, but sometimes I wonder because of having to show her things. And it's not her fault. It's because I don't make things clear when I'm talking to her. And that's why you got to keep talking sometimes. Sometimes it's better just to stop and just show. Don't keep talking. If it's time to stop talking, stop talking. All right, we're on to cleaning, and we're moving along pretty quick here. It's only 10 after. Oh, by the way, if you need to call me with a question, I am right here. Call that number on the screen right there or right there. 540-459-1888. That is my phone number. It's also the year the Washington Monument was completed. It is. Okay, now, the third thing I want to talk about this morning is about cleaning. And I'm going to talk about something pretty weird. It's not carpet cleaning. It's not floor cleaning. But it's about this. Do you know what this is? Anybody know? I have one at home that's not designed like this. This is what I have at home is probably what most of you use. It's called a toilet bowl brush. I have one at home that I keep in the shower. Now, I don't use it in the toilet. Just want you to know that. But what I use it for is to scratch my back. Because most of those things that you buy that's supposed to scratch your back in the shower and all that stuff, it's worthless. I would do better if you had a board with a bunch of nails in it and then just, get in there, draw a little blood. It's good. Well, I use a toilet bowl brush that is round to wash my back at home and sometimes my arms and legs to get all that old skin off that's kind of stuck in there. So, but when you go to use it in your toilet, okay, the situation is if you're going to use this in your toilet, it's going to be splattered and stuff all over your face, and some of that water isn't so clean inside that toilet that you're using. I know dogs like to drink out of it, but that doesn't mean it's clean, okay? So this is a toilet bowl mop. And people say, what in the world? I've never seen one of those before. Well, now you have. There you go. I had some people have a balm to clean off their big screen TVs because it won't scratch it. Like you use a cloth and go over there. And I mentioned it before about cleaning your TV screen, your big screens there with the flat and everything. Do not spray liquids on your screen because if you do, the liquid's going to run down in the screen, down in the bottom there, for you down here, down the bottom of the screen, and it's going to get water down in your circuit boards. They put the circuit boards down on the bottom for the water to collect and ruin them. Or as a friend of mine from North Carolina likes to say, they're runt. They're runt. They won't work anymore if you runt them. Okay? So if you're watching, I hope you are. Okay. Anyway, yeah, you don't want to runt your TV. So you want to make sure that you keep it dry. This is dry anyway, and it just cleans off the surface dust that attracts to that screen, that static electricity. But for your toilet bowl, and I wouldn't use them in between. I would only use it for one or the other. And these are soft too. But if you're using it in the toilet, don't do this. No, I've got a story to tell about that in a minute. Anyway, so what you do with this, you take this into your toilet bowl, and you take it and you push down into that opening at the back of your toilet bowl, and you push down in there, and you're pushing water up and out of the toilet. So by the time you get done pushing, there's only a little bit of water in the bottom of your toilet bowl. Just a little bit. And then you add your toilet bowl cleaner, and it waters down just a little bit. Because if you put it in a full toilet bowl, you got to use a lot of toilet bowl cleaner, and it's really watered down. It doesn't really do the job. So if you push all that water out with this toilet bowl brush, keep pushing it down in there and getting it all cleaned out, get all the water that's in there away. Then you put your toilet bowl cleaner in there and let it set for a little bit. And then take your mop and wipe it around the toilet bowl. Don't splatter around. Wipe it gently. Wipe it around inside there. Get that toilet bowl cleaner all over that bowl. Up underneath. You want to get it up underneath that toilet bowl because underneath the seat, you don't see this. You don't see this, but there are lots of little holes up there right underneath the seat where you're sitting on a toilet seat, hopefully, and then you got the toilet bowl, and then you got little holes underneath there. And that lets water flow out to create a swirl, to swirl the water down through the toilet. If those things get dirty and clogged up, it's not going to flush. It's going to sit there and laugh at you. And you keep flushing and flushing, and maybe someday it might go. Or you go get a pitcher of water, and you pour it down in, and then it flushes. By the way, I found a secret about that. It's very, very fascinating. How to solve the problem if your toilet's not flushing and it's filling up just fine. It's not the problem there. The problem is it's not coming out fast enough through those little jets or those little holes underneath the seat. So what you do is you take some vinegar, cleaning vinegar, which is stronger than drinking vinegar. Well, some people drink it. The cooking vinegar. You take that and pour it in that little tube in the toilet. You take the tank lid off, not the tank lid off, and pour this vinegar down in that hole down there and get it in there till you start seeing come out the little rings around the outside. Stop. Okay, stop when it starts coming out. Leave it set for a couple hours and then flush your old toilet, and that'll help clean up all those minerals that are stuck inside there. All right? Now, a story I wanted to tell was one time my daughter and I were going hiking. I won't tell which daughter. That way you'll have to guess. We were going for a hike, and we were really thirsty, and we didn't take a lot of water with us, and there's a little stream there. So we dug out a little hole in the stream, and we waited a little bit until it cleared up, the mud and stuff cleared up, and I took my Sierra cup, which is kind of a flat kind of cup that you use for dipping out of streams, and I drank some of the water. My daughter took some of the water and splashed it on her face to kind of cool off. And as we walked down the trail a little bit further, we saw that there were people before us that had some horses. And my daughter went, "Yuck, I put that on my face." And I said, "That's nothing compared to what I just did with it." But anyway, just a little warning. Be careful. Look upstream. Always look upstream. You never know what's coming down. Okay. All right. Have you heard enough about toilet bowl brushes? If you need more information, you can contact me here at the store at that number there, 459-1888, 540. And I will talk to you and try to answer that question for you. Okay. Next, and I don't have anything for lighting this week. You'll have to just sit in the dark till the next time I do that, which will probably be 2 weeks. I will not talk about that kind of stuff probably next week. Free, things that are free. This week I'm going to talk about something that's really cool that's free, and it's been free for years here in the county. I used to know the guy that ran the place years ago. I kind of know the guy that runs it now, but Mr. Bernie, and he was a great photographer. He was a photographer for President Reagan. He worked for, I think, the Washington Post. Anyway, great photographer. He bought the paper, started it, or maybe even started it. And I've got an old copy here. So anyway, got my friend Willie on the cover here. I got him to sign one. Or I asked him to sign one. Anyway, the Bryce Mountain Courier. It's free. And it has good news in it. Good news. You don't find any of the stuff from the swamp. You don't find any stuff from the septic tank. They don't have an article called The Septic Tank Today or anything like that. No way, buying. It is good news. Also in here, one of the articles that we always read, one of the first ones we always read. My mom, I get this from my mom, but my wife always likes to look at this. The Comings and Goings page, okay? Comings and Goings page, okay? On this, you find out about new businesses coming to the area. New restaurants, new places, and also, sadly, those that are closing. And that's when they usually have the big sale and everybody comes rushing in. One time, somebody thought I was going out of business. That was years and years ago. And they were so upset because they thought I was going out of business. But I put a sign up. I bought a banner, I think it was. And it said, "Not going out of business sale." And they got really upset. "You deceived us." I said, "Yeah, I guess so." But some people don't. They wait till a business is going out of business to go see them for the first time. And then you wonder why they're going out of business. Not so good. Not so good. So anyway, the Bryce Mountain Courier. Great paper. Articles about people of the area here. Authors, people of note, veterans, old people, young people. It is just a great paper. And they even have a series of stories that they do every once in a while on appliances that last pretty much forever. They did one of an electric snow blower from the 50s, a freezer from the 1950s. In here they have a swamp cooler, the old-fashioned air conditioners. I had one come into my store that you put a block of ice in the top of it, and it had a fan with some metal that the ice water ran down, and it would blow and cool off your house or your room. Okay? Now, beware. There are a bunch of hoodwinkers out there. I'm going to get on it anyway. Hoodwinkers out there on YouTube and I think on Facebook too, that come along and say, I've got this little box here, and it was invented by, sometimes it's a high school student, sometimes it's a NASA engineer. It's the same device, and I don't know how all these guys invented it, but they say they did, and they're afraid the bigwigs, the air conditioner guys, are going to take it off the air or try to sell it and hide it somewhere. Terrible people. It's awful, but they're lying. They're lying. It's not true. It's just a cooler. Either it is a DC cooler, and you can buy these things for your car that you plug in, and it helps keep your food cool. It does a pretty good job. Not excellent, because what it does, it's a heat exchanger. It's a little circuit board on what do you call those things? Aluminum vents to exchange heat. You plug it in one way, it's DC, so you can plug it in AC or positive or negative. You plug it in one way, and it heats up the container to keep food warm. You turn the electric around the other way, and it creates the opposite. It takes the heat out of the room or out of the container and puts it outside. And the outside gets hot, and the inside gets cool. But it only does it so many degrees from the temperature that it is. So on a real hot day, it's not going to do very much. And the way they advertise these goobers, they'll say it cooled the room down from 90-some degrees to 60-some degrees in 3 minutes. They lie. Or the room's very small. They don't really tell you how big the room is. It might have been a little 1-by-1 cubic inch, not cubic foot room. I don't know how they can do that, but that's what they tell you it does. So just beware. Don't be scammed. Oh, and one more thing. Hold on. I'm going to be right back, because this one is one that's really got me going, because when I first saw it, I thought, well, that's very interesting, because I'm a ham radio operator, and I thought, this sounds very cool. I'll be right back. Oh, where'd I put it? Oh, it's way back here. Okay, I'm coming back. But these ads are just so deceptive, and I've seen them on Facebook Market multiple times, and I've seen them on YouTube. And here we go. I'm back, and I've got a total of no viewers, but that's okay. I understand why today. They show something like this, and they call it rapid radio. And you could talk anywhere in the country, and it doesn't matter if disaster strikes, it's going to work. They lie. Because inside of that device is what you have in your phone. A little place here for a SIM card. It works off of cell towers. So if the power goes off or the cell towers are gone, like they were in North Carolina, you're not going to go anywhere. You're not going to talk to anybody. But they sell these radios and say, it's no monthly fee. I don't know what they do. I guess the SIM card is once a year, but you're still subscribing to something. It's not automatic. Rapid radio. Watch out. Watch out. Okay. So anyway, this is a 2-meter Chinese radio that I paid about $25 for. And I could talk to people in Washington, D.C. I can talk to people here around the area here, Winchester, Harrisonburg. That's about it. That's all the fellow this radio will reach. But it is a handheld radio, and if everything else goes down and my batteries stay charged, I can still talk to people. Maybe not in DC or whatever, but I can still talk to people because it is a radio, a real radio. Okay? I have a license for it, and I can use this thing and not get it. This is better than a walkie-talkie because it will go further. But you can use walkie-talkies to talk to people in the area. You can do all kinds of things, but don't waste your money on rapid radio. Okay, enough of that. Oh, back to my talk about the Bryce Mountain Courier, because some of you guys don't live in the area here. Okay, you don't live in the area, and you're saying, well, he's talking about something that I can't even see. Well, I'm going to say that you can, because here is their website, the Mountain Courier. It's not called the Bryce Mountain Courier. It's just called the Courier, okay? Right there, the Courier. The Mountain Courier. Look it up, the Mountain Courier. Great people there. They want to give you good news. I don't think they bought the paper to make money, but businesses advertising there. I don't right now because I'm behind with my work already. But they are great people. If you want to advertise and get people to see it, this paper hangs around for at least a month. You saw the one I had here at the store of friends of mine. That's been around for months. And people still come and pick it up because it's got good news in it. Okie dokie. So, questions. Anybody got questions? I'm waiting here with the phone. I'm waiting with my cell phone if you have that number. And I can even start doing it on the radio if you want to. I'll set up a frequency. You can call me on there, but I don't think so. All right, Mom, I am about done here. And so you can get ready to watch Mark Lowry later here in a few minutes. My mom watches this after I'm usually on Thursday evenings while I'm gone, which is probably a good thing while I'm gone. So once again, anybody have anything they want me to talk about, please let me know. If anybody wants to let me know where they're contacting me from. I had a lady call me yesterday. I was hiding in here trying to get some work done. I wasn't very successful, but I was hiding in here. And she said she's moving to France. First she said she was moving abroad, and I said, who? And she thought it was funny. I'm glad. Anyway, she's moving to France. Oui. And she said she's going to watch me over there. I said, well, maybe. We'll see. Alrighty. Thank you all so much for watching me later. And you on Facebook, someday, maybe next week, I won't be on Facebook because I'll probably only have one phone with me instead of my two that I have here I'm using. And you on YouTube, I'll try to do something. If not live, I'll try to put something up close to 10 o'clock. Okay. Oh, no, it lets me set a premiere time. So I might just set it up to do it at 10 o'clock. Alrighty, anybody got any questions? The total of nobody watching me right now. Okay, boy, I look fat. Okay, I'm going to stop that. All right, thank you all so much for watching. If you got suggestions for me of what I could talk about, let me know. If you say don't do that the next time, I'll try to obey, or at least listen, and consider what you have to tell me. And you all have a great day. I sell new and reconditioned vacuum cleaners. I got them all over the place here. I sell reconditioned sewing machines and sergers. I rewire lamps. I fix KitchenAid mixers. And I don't fix cats. Okay, that's one of the things I don't do. Or broker relationships. But remember, I know a God who can. All right, my scripture verse today is from Psalm 127. Notice I'm going to give you a verse here. And this is 127. I think it's verse 5 or 6. You have to look it up to find out if I'm right or not. The Lord has done great things for us, wherefore we are glad. Now, you might think right now, it's not so good. You know, the cat just did something on the rug. You know, my TV's not working. I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner. I mean, it could be very bad. I mean, and people in other countries, we don't know what bad is. But we might have it what we consider to be bad. But there's coming a day. This life is only a brief time compared to forever. Oh, wait a minute. I've got a call from Elkton, Virginia. Hold on. We're going to find out what's going on here. Hello, you're live and on the air at Shenandoah SewandVac. How can I help you? Hello? I guess I overwhelmed them with my joy and happiness. Okay. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. You all have a great time. I've been on the air now for 29 minutes and 22, 23, 24. Anyway, I've been on the air for almost 30 minutes, which is what I want to do. And so we'll be talking next time that I get together here at the store in 2 weeks. And we'll see. Hopefully I'll do much better because I'll have more time to get things ready. Thank you all so much. You have a great time. Let me know if I can help you with anything, and we'll talk again. I'm going to end Facebook here first, down here, those guys. See you all. All right, get ready. It's ending. Good night, Gracie. All right, up here we're going to say your live broadcast is ended. Turn it into a reel. No, the reel is too short. I can't do it that way. This video will be deleted in 30 days. That's why I don't do it on there. Facebook, YouTube, you guys keep it pretty much until you all don't exist anymore. So anyway, thank you all for taking care of me. We'll see you guys later. Say goodnight, Gracie. Good night, Gracie. Well, I said that too early. I said, do you wish the end? Yeah, I do wish the end. Okay, do you want to end the YouTube live session? Yes, I do. And oh, I wanted to keep it. Oh, no. I hit the wrong button. Good night, Gracie.